Like check like we always do about this time. TikTok, while it's just us, I appreciate the platform and the opportunity to use this platform to connect with like-minded individuals. With that said, TikTok, we gonna use this platform to educate, edify, uplift, might even be a little bit entertaining. Man, this is just epic conversation though. What's happening? Peace, family. What's good? This is Ex-Christian Bible Study. Red Pill Bible Study. That's what this is. Breaking the spell of Christianity. Don't get mad at me because you call it Freya's Day, Frigga's Day. I don't know Freya, Frigga. I don't know none of these people. Uh, Peace to the gods and to the goddesses. What's happening? Peace to the tribes and to the clans and to the kingdoms and the family. What's good with your people? Peace to you, light and love and abundance, good energy, good vibration. Consider this your daily reminder that it is still the present. And we got all these days, all these lights, gifts inside of this present. But hey man, don't get mad at me because you call it Freya's Day, Frigga's Day. Again, I don't know her. And I do not venerate celestial bodies or the personification of them. But in case you do, today is Freya's Day in veneration of the celestial body of Venus. And Frigga, is Odin's wife. That's where you get Wednesday from. She is the goddess of beauty, love, sex, Egyptian equivalent. Isis, Astarte, and Canaanite, Aphrodite, I think is other equivalents. For me, it's the present, and I came into the present by way of my mother and father, my mother to be most specific. So if I was to venerate anybody, it would be for the day and how I came into the present. It would be through my mother. That's what we're looking at today. We're looking at the Matriarchy some more. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 3 today. And before I do this, before I get into that, I want to tell the Christians that may get in here, that may end up listening as I salutating. Shout out to the people. Shout out to Thinker. I wake up every morning and listen to you. This is a safe space for you to think about the stuff that you can't think about if you know the questions that you have, that if you were to ask at church, or you would be told that you lack in faith, because believers it's about belief, and your belief is what makes you righteous, makes you good. So if you think about it too much, you might not believe. So they really big on belief and not necessarily questioning what it is you are told to believe. And what I'm saying is, this is a safe space for you to think about those things. I'm not going to tell nobody you was over here thinking about it. And it's sad that we have to do this and put it out here this way. But this is all in breaking the spell of Christianity, that I'm letting the people know that this is addressing the things that you may have had on your mind. But if you were to ask, then you're going to be told that you sounded like one of them unbelievers. You asking questions like you don't believe. So it's not safe to do that there. But again, I said it's a safe space to think about it. Fuck how you feel. I don't care how you feel. We're not leaving belief and believing about it, not thinking about it, so we can feel about it and still not think about it. We're not dealing with your belief or feelings. But we are going to think about something today as we investigate the matriarchy. And also we're going to look at today, where does the patriarchy come from according to the Bible? Yesterday we saw that the matriarchy is spoken of in the book of Revelation before the creation narrative. Anybody want to ask me where that is, we can go to Revelation chapter 12 and we'll show you how that is in the book. But if the kingdom is eternal, as we are saying, and we're looking at a matriarchy that's spoken of in this eternal kingdom, from this eternal kingdom, we're going to continue that because the enemy is at war with the woman, the mother, and her seed. And when it puts it that way, that makes it matriarchal because we're tracing the lineage of it through the mother, through the woman. And this continues. But we got the setup, we got the premise. And so we're going to look at something in Genesis chapter 3 today. But before we do that, consider this your daily reminder that this is still the present. And I want to share with you this vantage point before I start the discussion. This for everybody that can see and hear me, regardless of what you believe, what you think is right. If you like it, don't like it, whatever. If you like it, don't like it, whatever. Whatever you're going through. Man, excuse me. It's good to pause. It's good to pause and be reminded that it is still the present, regardless of if you call it Friday, Freya's Day. And when we look at the present, I choose to see it as a gift, and that's what I want to share. I see it as a gift because I'm not experiencing this to my knowledge because I was so right, good, holy, knew so much, said the right prayer, read the right book, performed the right ritual. To my knowledge, I'm not experiencing this present because of any of that. And I'm thankful, I'm grateful for it. Also, to my knowledge, I don't owe anything for this experience. I didn't pay anything to get it. For these reasons, simple reasons, I see this experience called the present, experience as now, as a gift. Also, in comparison to any other present, I see that this one is always new. If you call it Friday, it's a new Friday. And every Friday is a new one. Each moment of this present, this experience is a new one when we stop and think about it. Regardless of what celestial body we venerate or what personification of it we name the day after. When we stop and think about it, it ain't stopped being the present yet. It's said that it's always now, it's always, each moment is always new, so we can't measure always. We are outside of the means to measure this dimension in what we call numbers or days or years or minutes. That's the win of it, though. The present. That's when it is. That's what time it is. For everybody that can see and hear me right now, regardless of what your clock or calendar may read, it's the present for everybody. So that means we in at the same time. And then we are all here for the present, and we call it the mind, consciousness, awareness, the kingdom, whatever. But this is the where of it. And we can't measure it either. Not in feet, not in miles, not in inches. Not in inches. So we are outside of a way or the means of measurement for that dimension. And so it makes the experience when we stop and think about it outside of space and time. And we are either conscious or unconscious in here. But this is the where of the experience of the present. For these reasons, I consider it a miraculous gift. One beyond my ability to describe I have no word for it. And we deal with the unknown from this perspective of not necessarily having a word to express or a, a term to call it, a description for it. So we come into having to use it, our experiences. And when we do that, what we start talking about is the unknown, what you can't see, touch, taste, smell, and hear, but you experience. Because if you don't know nothing else, you do know I am. But what do this space look like? What do consciousness and awareness look like? Where do it come from? All these questions, we're not the first to ask them, and we're not the first to symbolize it and explore this space. And what we came back with is we call the unknown darkness. And that's where we're going to begin from. And the darkness is what you are unaware of, what you are ignorant of, what you don't know. These are the revelations to reveal what you are unaware of. Nothing spooky about it. Because remember, we said always, and I don't know why the believers have such a hard time with the concept of always. But if you apply it, then that means no beginning, no end, right? That's what it means. Always, forever, eternal. No beginning, no end. But it seems the believers have a problem applying the concept. How do you know it? Because they'll say, well, where did we come from? But you said that it's an eternal kingdom. I mean, always was, no beginning. You said it. But when we apply the concept, you say we misinterpreting. But if you think that eternity has a start, then it's not us that's misinterpreting what it means. We approaching it exactly from what one would it always. So what's being described when they say the beginning? But this is why we say this is a book that one cannot understand from ignorance. It's some things you gotta know first. You gotta read it from right to left. It's some stuff you gotta know first. If not, you're gonna be arguing with people about talking snakes. I'm not gonna arguing with people about talking snakes. I'm not gonna let you tell me about nothing philosophical about your belief system. We're gonna talk about the talking snake and the talking donkey and how that's literal, but the talking eagle in Revelation is symbolic. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna keep your philosophy. Hey man, we're gonna talk about this eternal concept, no beginning, no end. And so we're gonna apply that from what it looked like. What do no beginning or no end look like? Well, we can't see it, but we can experience it. We call it cycles. We call it, what we observe is these cycles that keep repeating over and over again, and we observe wisdom. We get our wisdom and understanding from observing these cycles. And so 360 degrees is how we symbolize no beginning, no end. And that's where we going today. These are revelations. If you can't keep up, you just can't keep up. I don't care what you believe. Trigger warning to you. If you understand the title or term God based on your belief, and God is something spooky outside of space and time, it is a title that applies to people. It means the mighty ones, or the powers, and the might or the power of the mighty ones was their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They got it from observation. They've always been here. We've always been here ever since matter, energy manifested as matter. Father manifested as mother, put himself inside. Yeah, we've been here ever since then. Ever since that matter has manifested as people, we've been here. We talking about our fathers and mothers, our mighty ones, our elders. And how some stuff they knew got turned upside down. And I'd like to take a minute, just sit. So that's what we're doing. So we're talking about the matriarchy. I showed you where the matriarchy came from in the book of Revelation. Chapter 12 describes a scene that happened, and right before that happened, there was a war. The war take place before creation. The creation narrative describe what happened after this war. Mama telling baby about her papa, what that is, he died in the war, baby. They held captive. She got to tell them their story. Why they held captive. Follow me, the widow's son. All right. How you gonna say Genesis chapter 3 talk about a matriarchy? Because it obviously talk about a matriarchy. I have to show you by reduction though. Because if I show you straightforward from Luke's chapter 7 verse 35 or Proverbs chapter 8 or Revelation chapter 12, you won't see it. So I'm gonna have to show it to you by in the way that you understand it. Because you don't understand it no other way. And you the Lord is your God. You love the Lord, right? So let's look at what the Lord got going on, the tree by its fruit. Genesis chapter 3, we're going to look at we'll start at verse, let's start at verse 1, man. Damn, y'all know I don't want to read this stuff. Like, can I paraphrase and just read the juicy part? Or do I got to read the whole everything? Man. Genesis chapter 3. I'm gonna start at verse 6. When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. I say a lot when I do these breakdowns. This is deconstruction. Trigger warning to you: if your interpretation of the Bible is the right one, and all other 44,999 interpretations of it is private interpretation. Hey man, I'm just finna ask you something. We gonna think about it. That's all I'm saying. And I'm gonna think about what's in here. What it's saying. Trigger warning to you if thinking about it. Mean that you don't have any belief. And that means you're wrong for thinking about it too much because they lead to unbelief. Trigger warning to you if thinking lead to unbelief. This ain't a safe space for your mind because we thinking about it in here. I'm not going to tell nobody you was in here thinking about it though. But if thinking about it lead to unbelief, man, keep scrolling. But we just going to read a little bit and then we're going to think about it. So we say eating means be taught, to teach. When you eat, you being taught. That's what eating means symbolically. It has a higher meaning than the belly and understanding eating just from the belly, from the lowest level. But to eat in a biblical sense means to be taught. So she's being taught something, she's learning something, because she's eating it, so she getting the game, she taking it in. But she's learning something. All right. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. She taught him something. Remember, to eat mean to teach, to be taught, and who it is that's doing the feeding is who it is. Look at the picture. Who it is that's doing the feeding is who it is that's doing the teaching. And she taught him something. What's she teaching? The fruit of the knowledge, the produce of the knowledge, the benefit of knowing the difference between good and evil, according to the narrative. This is what she taught Adam. We get into the we looking at the matriarchy right now. That's all I'm saying. I said we looking at the matriarchy. Because from Revelation, it revealed that it's the dragon have a problem with the woman and her seed. That's what make it a matriarchy. Because the woman have a crown on and she's pregnant, that make her a mother and royal, and she appear in heaven and make her divine. And we got here the woman, Eve, teaching Adam to eat mean and be taught. Then the eyes of both of them were open and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. You should look up the meaning of fig leaves. You'll be surprised. Then the man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord God as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day. What day was this? You remember it say God finished with all God's work in Genesis 1? What day is this that the Lord God is walking in the cool of the garden? We ain't got it for 7 days. Which of the 7 is this? Because it's people that say that God and the Lord God is the same being. My contention is they are not. Clearly, they are not. You got one at rest, one group at rest, and you got another still obviously walking in the cool of the day in the garden. Still. And he's not finished. Oh, he's just getting started. It seems like where one finished, one gets started. But we in chapter 3, we gonna look at it. So they didn't hear it. But the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" He answered, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked." And he said, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" The man said, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree, and I ate it. She taught me this." The fig leaves are, when you get, the fig leaves represent the type of doctrines. This is what you get out the tree, this teaching that you get out this tree, because she learned something. We're dealing with a group of people. We're not dealing with characters, but we'll contain it to that. But again, what I'm stressing is she taught him something. I'm stressing this. Then the Lord God said to the woman, "What is this you have done?" The woman said, "The serpent deceived me and I ate it." So she said, "The serpent taught me something." Double speak goes both ways. You can use double speak to deceive, or you can use double speak to teach and demonstrate gain. It just depends on who and what you're dealing with and your level of understanding. Well, let me stay on course. That she said the serpent gave it to me. So the Lord God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust. Wild animals, you will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. This literally is a matriarchy. It's a matriarchal concept. The lineage is being traced through her seed as far as the enmity between the serpent and um, Eve, man, Adam and Eve. It's Eve that the serpent is looking at. Let's look at it, some more of these curses, because we got the Lord God and he's cursing, because that's what he do. You know, the tree bears fruit. To the woman, he said, I will greatly increase your pain in childbearing. With pain, you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband and children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. This is very important. The Christians love this. All the Christian men flock to this right here. So all you Christian men gather around, all of you that's just swear by that verse is why y'all the head seed was the woman. Get in her. We gonna think about that. That verse, that part right there. A curse is the absence or opposite of a blessing, right? It's a reversal, or you know, what was is gonna be made the absent of that, the opposite of it. So if her curse, her punishment is to be ruled over by Adam, what was her position before she was cursed to be ruled over? I'm saying if her position because of the curse, oh, by the way, this is your patriarchy being established. This is how you got it, by way of a curse that you believe in. And I'm saying if she's cursed to be ruled over, and this is her punishment, what was her position before that? What did she represent before? Then you say Jesus dying on the cross. Does this lift the curse? Does this alleviate the curse? It seemed to do so for the man and for the serpent. He can crawl up a tree, cross water. The man can hire other people to do his work, enslave other people, make them do his work. But the woman is still ruled over, and she still have pain in childbearing. I don't care how wet she get in her baptism. I don't care how much Holy Ghost she get. That man is still gonna rule over her, and she still have pain in childbearing. So the man can get around his curse, and so can the snake, but not her. And if the enmity is between the woman's seed and the serpent seed, the serpent have a seed. Then if it's her seed that is the focus, how is that not a matriarchy? And the curse is to put the man over the woman. That's the curse. And this is how you get the patriarchy, according to the Bible. But it wasn't always so. From the kingdom in Revelation, it speak of a matriarch. It don't you don't hear of the the when it says the dragon had went out to make war with the woman and her offspring. And the dragon is Satan. This is the whole drama. This is what the whole thing is about. This war, this battle, this contest between these two camps. But as far as the enemy goes, his focus is not the patriarchy. It's her and her children. The matriarchy. The books say the matriarchy fall by way of a curse because of something she learned, some forbidden knowledge she wasn't supposed to get, kind of like Ham discovering Noah's nakedness. Some forbidden knowledge somebody wasn't supposed to have because she got it and taught it to Adam. She's placed under him. But before she was placed under him, by way of this curse, she was over him. Look at the picture. The greater light that governs the day, the seat of the throne. Isis teaching her son, feeding him. So this is all in line with what I'm saying before you had the patriarchy, because the Christians, the believers, teach that the patriarchy always was. This may be always was as far as this system that you know, the beginning of it. But before what you call time, we was measuring the period between events in another way. It had nothing to do with the sun, moon, or stars. But it did have to do with cycles. If you're going all the way back and you looking at it, the first thing that the people was doing, they said, was hunting and gathering and following herds. How long you think it's gonna be before you start observing cycles? If we saying the mighty ones or the elders, we talking about the beginnings of your family line. And everybody family line somewhere, some way started. But as far as people being here, according to the concept of eternity and eternal, we saying people always been here. Ever since energy manifested as matter and matter manifested as life, people, we've been here. All over. Always. This means that we was running around and doing our thing before what you call time. This means somewhere along the line, somebody started having some thoughts and thinking and wondering and asking some questions. Started making observations about this realm and the world around it and began to be more conscious of themselves more than the people that was around them. From observing. And after you observe it, phenomena long enough, ain't nobody else around observing it and conscious of it or aware of it where you are, then now you starting to name this phenomena and predict how it's going to act, make it act in a desired manner. So it looked like you exerting power over this stuff. Because you understand how it works. You can tell people how exactly what it's going to do. Like it's you making it do it if they don't know. They ain't been observing. They may think the plant started growing because you did the ritual a few moons ago, and then it was all of a sudden pears on the tree. We talking about ancient wisdom. Where it came from, we don't know. As far as we can go back is the languages that were preserved to tell these stories. And one of the most ancient languages that were preserved to tell these stories is the Hebrew language. They got some, what is it? Egyptian tablets, Sumerian stuff they decoded, and they all come back to the same concept. Mother and father, father and mother. Nothing spooky about it. Same concept. It starts from the unknown. You start in the womb, and then you become aware of yourself. That consciousness grows. Then you get born. Knowledge born. We observe this happening over and over again. There's nothing spooky about it. Who came and sprinkled the spook on it? All right, well, let's go deeper. The matriarchy, what's being described? You see that picture, like you don't see a father in the picture. Like ain't no old man in the robe with the white beard. You don't see that in this picture, in these pictures, right? This is on purpose. We're trying to show you the most high. We're trying to show you the most high. We talking love. When we talking love, we talking the most high expression and experience of it. Once you really look at the picture from love and what the experience of love, if one were to symbolize the most high experience of love, what would it look like? From experience, this concept of love. If one were to symbolize the most high way that this love is experienced, what would it look like? What has been our experience when we think of the most high form of love we've ever received or ever experienced? Is it from a mother or a grandmother or a wife? Is it as a mother for the child? Because we're talking strength when one can hold. And as far as the experience of love in this realm goes, the most high experience of it is in and through mothers, whether as a wife or a lover or the mother, and you are her child. That we know as men. Name a higher one. As a man, as a male, penis and balls, the most high experience of what we call love. Is it not as a mother and we get it with her as our mother or as our wife or lover? The experience. So we can help you understand what's being symbolized in this picture when we speak of most high and matriarchy, divine wisdom, and the seat of the throne, all these concepts, so that you can see beyond genitalia when we speak of it. All right, so why we saying that the kingdom look like a matriarchy or the God that you speak of, the Father? Well, the Father represents a principle, not a person or a character with a robe and a beard. That's just what you were taught, but that's not what it means. It represents the unseen. That's what Father represents. Father represent Father represent this unseen force as a whole. No beginning, no end, the principle, the concept of it. That's what Father represents. And it symbolizes divine or inner knowledge. Where you get it from? I don't know. Where you learn that from? Who taught you that? I can't really, it just came to me. This type of knowledge is called divine knowledge. It's symbolized as masculine or male or father. It represents the highest of ways because we was trying to describe where it all came from, right? And the highest that we got to was, well, shit, man, what about no beginning, no end? What about that? What about forever? Can't get no higher than that. So it represents a principle, right? That's Father. No beginning, no end, most high. You can't get no higher, 360 degrees. So what you see behind her is just that symbol. You see 360 degrees. It's lit up. It's light. It's knowledge. Is light. You can't see it though, but you can see, because that's the unseen force, the energy. But but you can see the manifestation of that energy as matter or mater or mother. You can see it when it manifests, when it's applied. And we see that when it's manifest, this no beginning, no end, this unseen concept, it manifests this unseen concept, it manifests physically as cycles, repeating over and over again. That's female. That principle right there, how it manifests, that's female. You see what she look like. That darkness, you hear Bobby Hemmett talk about the black dot, the melanin, darkness, the matriarchy, mother. That we all, the darkness is not the most high. The darkness is a symbol for it. And then light come out the darkness. That's the sun in her lap. The expression of divine knowledge is wisdom. Wisdom is the divine knowledge applied. That's make her divine wisdom. She is the manifestation of this most high principle. We call it mother. With the Father inside of her, on her lap, on his throne, as the Son, symbolizing these most high principles. But you gotta look at it from up high. Cause you was looking to see an old man when you was thinking about God on his throne. You had a picture of an old man in the sky with the beard and the robe on and some sandals. But if you were to really symbolize it, what you would see God on his throne is what you see in these photos. The baby, that's God. And the throne of God is the mother's lap, symbolizing the kingdom, because she represents the most high. She's a reflection. But these again are principles. When you can express the knowledge and wisdom and understanding that come from within you in the way that it's enlightening, that people like, yeah, whoa. This is what we're talking about, y'all. But we also looking at the people that were held captive in the time that they wrote this stuff. And they said that they were held captive in a place called Babylon. And the name Babylon just happened to mean confusion. And the confusion seemed to be about who they were. And they was trying to claim that they was tracing their lineage to these people. But the people, these were characters that symbolized the sun. These were personification of sun, moon, and stars. Let's go deep. The Torah, they claim they got it from a guy on the mountain, and something came down on fire and gave this guy this book, this Torah, the first 5 books. By the time they got the book, they had been through Canaan, Babylon, Egypt. Then the time of the writing, they were supposedly being held captive in Babylon when they compiled these books and said that it came from them. It survives because their language survived. Again, their version of the stories, the personification of the sun, moon, and stars that they got from Babylon and Egypt, it came, it lasted because their language did. It lasted because their language did. And by the time you got it as literal people that these people were tracing their lineage to, and now it's being revealed where they got it. They were in Babylon at the time, but it literally means confusion. They were in confusion when they got it. What did they get in Babylon? Well, the Babylonians are dealing with the sun, moon, and stars and the personification of them. The Bible described this in Genesis chapter 6 as the sons of God impregnating the daughters of men and having children by them, and the children becoming mighty men of renown or famous stars. Stars personified. Nephilim mean the fallen ones. Fallen what? Lights, stars that you took out the sky and personified, and then said you could trace your lineage to these personifications of these stars. Abraham is a symbol for the sun. Israel is a symbol for the sun. Where did they learn how to do this? To trace their people and their bloodline from celestial bodies and connect their stories to different constellations and seasons. Where they learned that in Babylon and Egypt, that's where they learned. See, they thought that the knowledge and the wisdom came from the stars, because that's all they got. That's the only, they took that part and took off. The next part is understanding that the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we putting in coding is about what's going on in here, and observations from how what go on in here play out below. That's the next step. You don't act a certain way because of the constellations being lined up a certain way. There were observations made from in here about the way things connect from out there, and they was paying attention from in here. Yeah, I'm deep with it, whoop, and they noticing what go on in cycles and circles and putting stuff together. But the observation and understanding what's being observed and putting together what's being observed and the knowledge that's being transmitted through what's being observed came from in here. It's not saying that the sun, moon, and stars wasn't already there, but they were used and observed and seen as symbols and signs and used to teach. But these symbols and signs began to be worshiped because the meaning got lost in the translation. The kingdom, this place right here, right, is a matriarchy. This is how it operates. Your subconscious mind is considered female, and your conscious mind is considered her son. This is how this is looked at. Your subconscious mind is the mother that gave birth to the son. Consciousness. And your subconscious mind represent the most high, because you can't go no higher than your subconscious. It's no higher you can get. We can't go no higher than that. Get so high, you lose consciousness, and you lose consciousness, and you're in your subconscious, your unconscious, whatever you want to call it. But we can't get no higher. So when we go to the subconscious, it is said that we ascend to the throne, to mother. That's mother's lap, because the throne is mother's lap. Because in eternity, you know, that's her baby, your conscious mind that came from it. This is how this is described, this kingdom. And the enemy, the system, the dragon, is at war with your mind. The matriarchy, the mother, but wisdom is known of her children. This is how things got turned upside down. In is up, out is down. So you worship the son, and this personification, the patriarchy. But you got personification, the patriarchy. But you got it from a curse, according to the Bible anyway. And if she's cursed to be ruled over, wouldn't that mean that because to be ruled over is her punishment? Do you not think about what her position was before she was cursed to be ruled over? Because she taught Adam something. She the one that, because you listen to the voice of your wife. I said to eat is to be taught. She taught him something. And if she being placed under him as a curse, well, before then, was she over him? Meaning, we start putting this, only what we see, touch, taste, smell is real. And what comes from the subconscious, lean not on your own understanding. You better go check out and see if the book confirm. Because your thoughts, our thoughts create our reality. And it's best that your reality line up with what they put in the book, other than what come from your own mind. I say it's okay to think in here. Anybody not understanding what's being said or what's being put down, appreciate y'all hitting the like button. Anybody not understanding what's being said about the matriarchy and what Genesis chapter 3 is describing, with the patriarchy being instituted by way of a curse. So all you Christian men, all you believers, Abrahamic religions that beat your chest, talking about you the head and God, like the Lord said that the man is by way of a curse. You claim Jesus, that part ain't been lifted. Until you return her back to her rightful place. And here, you're going to have 46,000 denominations before 2025 is over with. You have by 46,000, you had 45,000 different denominations. Everybody got the Holy Ghost. Somebody in my comment section right now, and their interpretation of the scriptures is right, and all other 44,999 is wrong, damn it. I'm not telling you mine is right. I really don't care what you call right based on your belief, doctrine, understanding. I don't care what you call right. We've seen the genocide and slavery and the racism and the hatred that you call right in the name of your God. I troll the trolls when I be in thinker comments. I troll the trolls. I just be in the comments just having a good time, right? And I actually have people that'll argue me down that genocide and slavery is a punishment from God. It's Black History Month. These is niggas. Let me repeat what the fuck I just said. I am having back and forth in 2025 with adult melanated black men who want to argue me down that slavery and genocide is a punishment from God in Black History Month. Nigga, the fuck you mean? Why do we do this? I'm talking about with all the smugness and righteousness that they could muster, whole heart and all they might, just sounding stupid. And it's Black History Month. So we gonna talk about Leviticus 25. You know what I'm saying? I thought this was basic knowledge. But I guess it's not. So yeah, it's Black History Month, so-called, because they call us, we are identified by the lowest level and lower ways of identification, because we don't know where we come from and what our culture is. They have back and forth. They call us African American, except for Egypt. They really should be in this Black History Month. Let's get this shit together. All you so-called scholars that's not racist, you just want to be correct about the shit. They should reclassify us as African Americans except for Egypt. Or you should remove Egypt from the continent of Africa. That would make things easier for you, it seems. Because there's no problem with us being African American, and unless we start claiming the cultures that came from North Africa, then all of a sudden, that's not us. But bitch, is it Africa or not? Is Egypt in Africa or not? Because you all said we was African Americans. Niggas started learning about Egypt, and then we became African American, except for nah, fuck that. Y'all black. You niggas don't have no culture. Fuck it. We don't know where you niggas came from. Then we started investigating and looking for where we came from, trying to trace our shit back and land claim, and at least going from what the fuck they named us. All right, they said we was African American. Africa is the huge continent. Everybody melanated. I'm talking about all different shades and colors and hair textures and odd colors, cultures, everything except for Egypt. Damn it, nigga. They'll tell you this with a straight face, and they'll tell you all kind of stuff with a straight face. But when we talk about uniting and 42 million of us coming together and seeing to our own needs, we talking crazy. It's Black History Month. Fuck it. Can we talk about it? And about 42 million of us coming together to see to our own needs all month long. Can we do that until we form a way? We have in mind what we looking at is coming together with our resources and laying down a way for us to come together with our resources in a fair, equitable way, and where we can meet and come together and move and make moves with the resources we have. So this is all in line with us coming together as a whole and making the preparations, setting the table, making sure we're able to do so and be effective when we do. But outside of that, right, I got niggas though want to argue with me about slavery and genocide being a punishment from your God. And I get it, right, that that's your God. But when I say that's not my God, because when I say God, I'm talking about my ancestors and my mothers and fathers. And my mothers and fathers didn't punish me with genocide and slavery if I did something that was out of line with their wishes. That's not how they corrected me. My mothers and fathers did not curse me, did not see me as cursed from birth or a sinner from birth. That's not how my mothers and fathers saw me or deal with me. Now, your God you see as your master. Adam is made from dust. In chapter 1, you got some people made in the likeness and image of, but in chapter 2, you got one made from dust, and he's named. Who named you, nigga? And he's put to work. I don't trace my lineage to that. I don't come from that. I don't come from nobody made from no Mary Mammy motherfucking me dust. I was born, and so were my people. Everybody I know was born. That's how it's always been. If people got started being made from dust, and it wasn't my people, damn it. My people, everybody I know was born. When we speak of kingdom and being born and renewal of the mind and the rebirth, that's just how it go. You got to be born into this renewal. You can't believe your way into it, ritualize your way. It's just something that come from inside. Look at the picture. Mama got to teach you. Subconscious. It got your consciousness has to ascend. But before you can get the light in here, it must be firm. Your mind got to be made firm first. Firmament. And the suffix mind is meant firm. It got to be firm before you can, because it's some knowledge that you finna come into during these times of revelation. That if your mind is not firm, it could cause an existential crisis. If you've been believing and talking snakes, waiting on somebody, hoping for somebody to come save you out the sky, it could be damaging to your mind to hear this. And the first thing you're going to do is disagree and push back because you've invested a lot into this guy coming to save you from the talking snake one day. And you may be punished if you don't eat crackers and juice on the right time. So I understand what you're going through and why they put you through it. But as adults, at least in this space, we're going to think about some of this stuff. Because a lot of time when I listen to y'all on these people's lives, and I just think of all the people that do deconstruction, whether I agree with everything or not, let me say that to her. I don't care if you agree with everything I'm saying. I don't agree with nothing, everything nobody say. Here you're talking about. The one you call Jesus Christ could come out the sky right now, and I wouldn't agree with everything he said. Just not in me to do, because I'm me. But I don't see anything wrong with that. That's the difference. We don't have to agree on everything. But to have peace, man, one thing that helped that facilitate is understanding. And when you grow up a little bit, you'll learn the difference between the two, agreement and understanding, and which one is preferred, which one do you have to have over the other, or which one is at least better to have. Man, let's have some understanding. So without it, it's hard to have you some peace. And if you got things about your belief system you don't understand, and hear it being challenged, just add all kind of problems. And you are being told that belief is better than knowing. So you can't think about this stuff. Because that means you don't believe. Ain't that something, y'all, they tell you, if you think about it, that they could lead to unbelief? So don't. So when we look at this matriarchy, the kingdom, when we say the kingdom, we don't mean nothing in the sky. Nothing what they call outside of space and time what the believers say, which is a bunch of bullshit. I say that because outside of space and time mean here and now. Try me, damn it. Try me, and we gonna take the spook off of it and see how when you apply those concepts, it mean here and now. And that's all it means. Yeah, so when we dealing with deconstructing, the first thing we have to take away is the fear of the death. Three days in the grave, 3 days, 3.5 years ministry, 3 days in the grave. Place of the skull. Wisdom is known of her children. The kingdom is within you. What is all this stuff talking about? We talking about the renewal of your mind and the sting of death. And the curses in Genesis chapter 3 is death is introduced. And the purpose of the resurrection, the death, burial, and resurrection, is to take away the sting of death. Because that's what's being lifted. Let's be 100. So because we taken away the sting of death, where does it happen? It happened here at the place of the skull. Because this is where when the body may go, but this is renewed. It's a resurrection. It's seen from one level as a death, but it's a seed being put into the earth. It's a birth process. It's a creation process. The sting of it is taken, and now you understand that this is the process of resurrection or rebirth. So I'm going to come back the same way I came. I came the first way I was born. And that's how when I come back, I'm going to come back the same way. I'm going to be born. Born of a virgin. Look at the picture now. Divine wisdom, mother, subconscious kingdom. Wisdom is known of her children. And when I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna return the same way I came. But this is the kingdom. In is up. I'm coming from the kingdom of heaven, from in up here. The imposter, he coming from down there. Out is down. So you got the real light, the conscious mind, the soul, and then you got the symbol for it, the sun. And people worship the symbol for it in the personification of the symbol for it. And don't know it. They are in the dark, in confusion in Babylon. For some people, it's hard to follow what's being said. For others, you get it, the light click on, welcome, welcome, welcome. If it is, that's why we call it revelations. And we do it, get it in real time. When the light click on and you understand, let there be light, the light cut on from in here. So what that means is this is a book that you have to read from right to left. From knowledge, from knowing something. You can't read it from ignorance. You won't understand it. You can't. It wasn't for the ignorant in the first place. So what your pastor's been doing is playing on your ignorance. We have to unteach you the book because it wasn't for the pastors to. We have to unteach you the book because it wasn't for the pastors to teach it to you the way that they did. It was for it to be demonstrated. What they knew. So what they know is demonstrated. You make them rich. You they flock. And they feed off of you, but you gain no knowledge. You own nothing. You control nothing. You got comfortable in the position, and pastors there to keep you comfortable owning and controlling nothing. That's it. So they gonna teach, they are in line with the system. They're not gonna encourage us to unite and come together, form our own communities and be independent. We're not talking about no cult or political movement. We're talking about self-sufficiency. People empowering other people lifts everyone. 42 million of us coming together for us, with us. I'm not talking about no motherfucking compound. It's probably start. Once people see people, hey, we living rent-free, owning land and doing us, and the way of life starts spreading. It sound like something they was talking about in the book, by the way. But we looking at being self-sufficient, controlling our own industries, growing our own food, raising our own animals, got our own well for our own water, our own power sources, solar panels, windmills, solar power generators, electric gas power generators, whatever. We got our own everything. We self-sufficient. And this is valuable. It increased the value of the land because we just came together and owned it and operating off of it. We got products. What products we got? Shit, nigga, what we use. Why wouldn't we come together and buy the machines to make the clothes? And then tell everybody, hey man, y'all need y'all clothes made. You don't got to send them overseas or nowhere. We can make them. We got all the machine, automated machine, handle all your design. We can make them. Hey man, we in the South. We got our land in the South, man. We grow cotton. Now we vertically integrated from start to finish. The whole process is ours. It's 42 million of us. Man, you know how fast. It's 42 million of us. Man, you know our fashion and our threads and the way we put our vines together is making everything lie. We got everything we need but unity. So this is why we deconstruct and bring the people together, break the spell of this religion. The elders say don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's some understanding in it, but man, listen, what you really is being put in your face is how your oppressors, what they did. And got you to call it right and good and justified. What we showing you when we do this deconstruction is the one that you call Lord. That's Satan. That's the slave master. That's the adversary of your ancestors. And his seed is these people you call the Hebrews. And Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is his seed. That's why the Bible traced their lineage and what they built in the worship of their God, the Lord. That's what Satan called himself. You thought he called himself the devil? No, Satan called himself the Lord. He called himself God. He's impersonating and wanting to be your God on the outside of you. But your power, your might, is on the inside of you. It come from the mothers and fathers that passed on all their knowledge and wisdom and understanding and what's called your DNA and your bloodline, the kingdom that you come from, the eternal kingdom. We've been here that you come from. Operate as a priesthood. Your mothers and fathers, them your mighty one, them your gods. It's where you get it from. It's where you get it from. Nothing spooky about none of this stuff, y'all. I said the matriarchy is this in here. That's how the kingdom operates. That's how I said like it function. And the patriarchy is what you see on the picture and how it's instituted. The patriarchy is a curse that came in Genesis chapter 3. All of you who brag about it, if you say Jesus lift the curse, then why is the woman still ruled by the man? She still have pain in childbearing. And there's still enmity between her seed and the woman's seed. But the man can make somebody else work for him. He don't have to toil and work hard. He can enslave other people to do it. He can pay other people to do it. Even the serpent can crawl up a tree, get on the water when they get tired of being on the dust, in the dust. But it said it eat dust, not dirt. And dust mean the dead. It eat the dead. It's what it feed off of, the dead. So yeah, all the life they say is in the light, which you know is gonna reflect the world around us. Cause you gonna experience. That's how you know it, cause you experience it. Somebody say, boy, gone. Just listen to what he's saying. So who got a problem with what I'm saying? It's satanic. Jesus was sent here. Okay, you got a Jesus person. Okay. Where can we start? Where can we start? The Jesus person that say Jesus was sent to teach you, here to teach us. Yes, the story of Jesus is a symbolic story, and the intention of it is to teach something. I'm not contending that. My contention is what you were taught that it means. It don't mean that. The name Jesus, Yahshua. The Yah part means I am, and the Shua part means salvation. So if I speak English, you speak English. I am salvation is the name. I am salvation is the message. Salvation means to be delivered. Like you can look up the word and it means to be delivered. We all got here that way. We were delivered. The I am part is what we all call ourselves. Each and every one of us address ourselves regardless of what our mother named us. We call ourselves I am. I am delivered. That's how I got here, by being delivered. But the character that you were given represent the sun in Pisces. That's why Jesus in the symbol form is the cross, because that's how the sun moves up and down, back and forth. And you get the fish. You're talking about the age of Pisces. The heralding of this age is described in Jonah, who represent Jesus or God or the sun in the story when he first goes into Pisces, the fish. And you see, so the sun in Pisces, and you got the fish, and he's a fisherman, and he feed the people fish because it's to be taught. And you're being taught something when you eat this fish, but he didn't teach his disciples what he taught the people. He fed the people fish. He fed his disciples bread and wine. It's a whole different understanding of what you were given about this story than what it means when you go from understanding the symbology about the sun and the symbology about the soul, the light within, the bread and the wine, the house of bread. Because you come out with the bread and the wine that mama made. That mama prepared, that your wife, that the mother, because she's a mother, whether she's your wife or she's a mother because she's mama. But that's who prepared the meal. Read the story and see who made the meal. She say, here up, go on and bring, and I'm gonna whoop. Because in one you had Esau, he made the meal. And the other one, the mama made the meal and sent him in with it. But let me not take you too fast. Symbolically in the book, waters are peoples, nations, and tongues. This is from Revelation, I think 17, verse 15. Somewhere in there. Go check it out. Waters that the prostitutes sit on, somewhere in there. Go check it out. Waters that the prostitutes sit on, peoples, nations, and tongues. Is what waters symbolically mean. And you get fish out of the waters. Fish is what you eat. To be eat is to be taught. What you learn from the nations. What you learn from the peoples, nations, and tongues is different from what you learn from the kingdom. Two fish, we're talking about the two teachers. Enoch, and he returned as Elijah, who returned as John. And then you got Moses, who come back as, the new teacher, the New Testament, your Jesus, your two witnesses. So you got Elijah, who come back as John, who represent Enoch. Enoch mean teacher, by the way. And Moses. And Jesus is said to be the one who I'm going to raise up a prophet like Moses. But we dealing with a teaching. These fish, remember, the people are eating this fish. They being taught something. But this is for the people, the masses. You got 4,000, 5,000 being fed, and 4,000 being fed. 5,000 being fed, I think it's 5 fish and 2 loaves. That's the Torah. That's the first 5 books. And your 2 teachers who brought you your law or your testaments. But it's nothing spooky going on. The story of Jesus, again, is telling you the sun in Pisces. His 12 disciples are the constellations. And the water being poured out at the end, follow the man with the jug of water, is the age to come, Aquarius, because they dealing with personifying the sun, moon, and stars. And the stories revolve around that, all the way to the crucifix. But then there's a deeper meaning, an inner meaning, or a higher meaning. When we talk about the place of the skull and the house of bread in the virgin birth and what the Magi saw. So yeah, I know, because it's a lot, and I can info dump, and I don't want to info dump like this. But when you make that statement, yeah, it is a story meant for teaching. It definitely is that. That we can agree on. But the understanding that we have about it is where we part ways. I don't have nothing spooky. There's nothing spooky about what it is I'm sharing. This is a Bible deconstruction. My contention is they sprinkle spook on all of these stories and told you the spooky version of it. They gave you Exodus 19. I'm giving you Exodus 18. You have to go read. You would have to actually go read those chapters to understand what I mean. The church sprinkled spook on it. They gave you Exodus 19. When they say God rests from all God's work, are your ancestors at rest? What they at rest at? You say they at rest, they went to heaven, they in the kingdom. What they, I don't know. But what you remember about those that you do remember is in you. What you remember, what you re-put back together about them. That's where they are. That's where they exist. That's what make them the saints. Because the saints are the ones that live above the firmament. The peoples, nations, and tongues. Then you got peoples, nations, and tongues below. We just talking about a mind, and what separate the people is the mind. But what make the firmament good is when there's light in the firmament, when there's knowledge and wisdom of what I am. What else you gonna know? What else can you know? What else you know for a fact? I am. I know that for a fact. I might y'all might not be real, and I know I am because I'm experiencing me. If I don't know nothing else, this is the beginning. It's the fear of, when you see the word Lord in the Bible in all caps, it literally means I am that I am. It's why you have to read it from knowledge. You can't read it from ignorance and think you're going to understand the book. You can start from Genesis and still not going to understand the beginning of the story, because that's in Revelation. And you got to understand the difference between the beginning of the story and the beginning of the book. The story started in the kingdom, remember? Everything that's taking place and described to happen and be created and come forth, it happened from the kingdom. They're said to be within you. And it's said to be eternal. That would have to mean we always been here. If the kingdom is eternal, and that mean it always been here, and it always been in you, that mean we always been here. But ain't nothing spooky about it if you apply the principle of always, eternity. No beginning, no end. This is understood from here. This cycle is experienced from here. Because if it say the ancestors rest, God rests from all God's work. And when you lay down to rest, don't you wake up? Don't you call yourself woke? Ain't you the same person you was when you wake up as you were when you went to sleep? Everybody not gonna be able to keep up with this level of game. But if you can keep, if you have questions, listen, I'll answer your question. If you don't agree, I don't really care about what you agree with. People agree with genocide and slavery and misogyny. I don't care what you agree with. And the people on the other side of the veil gang stalk. Oh yeah, you know they gonna gang stalk. I heard them praying. Oh man, here we go. Satan. So Satan mean adversary. The Lord, if God is the ancestors, the mighty ones, and it's a kingdom, this kingdom function as a priesthood, then Satan would be the adversaries of your ancestors. Look at the picture, please. In front of you saying, this is what we mean when we say logical entailment. And I'm just touching the surface. We can go deeper if we could actually conversate, but if I'm saying that God, the mighty ones, is a kingdom, family, bloodline, mothers and fathers, uncles and cousins, sisters and brothers. That's what I mean when I say God. Then that mean if Satan mean adversary of God, then that mean the adversaries of my ancestors would be Satan. Look at the picture. Satan called himself Lord. Do the adversaries of my ancestors call themselves the masters or slave masters or lords? Is that the title that they gave you? Lord mean master. The adversaries of my ancestors called themselves my ancestors' masters. Ancestor and Lord mean master. But that's what you get in the world with the belief. You get a Lord, you get a master, you become a slave to the Lord, a slave to Christ. In the kingdom, you're a child or you're a son, a soul. And when we say son, it's the masculine expression of knowledge and wisdom. The feminine expression of knowledge and wisdom is understanding. Wisdom is understanding. Son is the expression of knowledge and wisdom. And knowledge and wisdom expressed or understood in its feminine form is understanding. It's not a gender thing, but it is the foundation. These four corners, the tetragrammaton, are the foundation for the kingdom and how it functions. Knowledge, wisdom, expressed and how they bring about understanding, because that's how you got it. You observe the knowledge and wisdom being expressed in the cycles of nature. In those cycles, you began to represent there's no beginning, no end, 360 degrees. So the square is also 360 degrees. That's the plane that the cycle is rolling on, or in the cube, the box that these presents, the cube, the box that these presents, the lights are in. Let me look at some comments. Anybody think I'm on here just talking? I know some people, if you don't get it, it feels like the Truman Show type shit. It is. It is. We dealing with that, coming together with balancing this space and this outer space outside of the system they created for us. Because we were given a prison for the mind. That's why I say it's still the present. Every time I start these live, I say, man, it's still the present. It's not Freya's day. I don't know Freya. It ain't never been Freya's day. There was a time before we measured days according to the sun, moon, or stars. There was a time, a period between events that we didn't measure days according to the sun, moon, or stars. It's how we live for so long. So when we say before time, I literally mean before time. I'm not just, this is before time. But all you know is the patriarchy in the time that they gave you, the 7 days and the 12 months of slavery and genocide is because you disobeyed the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's some bullshit. But a lot of us think that that's the case. And the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for some reason, should be their God because they spell his title with capital letters. Because if you read the book, their God is not doing anything good. The Lord, read about the Lord. I just read about him cursing. He don't bless Adam. He don't bless Eve. Upon when he make them, he command them. And he say, Chapter 1, God blessed them and said to them, instruction. But in the Lord, it say he commanded the man. And he didn't bless him. And when the man didn't obey his commandments, he cursed that man. Because this is the Lord we're dealing with. And he's very busy. Look at the picture. With his curses. According to the Christian believers and all the other Abrahamic religion believers, according to your logic, the people in the picture are going through what they are going through, the ones being subjugated, because they didn't worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is what you say it's Black History Month, mind you. And you niggas will argue me down about Master's God and his genocide and slavery being a necessary punishment sometime when you get out of line with him. It completely absolved the perpetrators of the greed and the violence that they committed against you. Because you're too busy trying to worship and get in line with the God of the people who did it to you. And I don't get it. I tell you about the Matriarchy, in my comment section telling me Freya's day, as who Freya was, but that's a goddess that they paying homage to that look like one of their ancestors. But when I tell you that the whole concept come from us and our ancestors and our mothers were the goddesses, oh nigga, you just talking. You ain't never questioned Freya. It's Friday. You ain't never thought about none of the shit you say you believe in. People try to be patient with you and break this stuff down. You act like you finna come tell us something we ain't heard for the last 2,500 Mary Mammy motherfucking me years. You not saying nothing new. We've heard it. Your guy have not come back out the sky to save nobody from now talking snake. It ain't happened yet. People not wrong for questioning that bullshit. What's wrong with you? Supposed to question it. Man, question it with your whole heart and all your might. What you should do. Letting them people come tell you gonna be punished for all eternity if you don't eat crackers and juice on the right day and believe somebody coming out of the sky to save. Question it. And if they get offended because you question it, tell them, I said, get they bitch ass out your face. Don't come back. Fuck you mean if I ask too many questions, I don't believe. Well, fuck your belief then if I can't ask no questions about it. It's it's over. And it's hard for a lot of them to accept it's over. And you get in people come and say, we don't get in y'all comment. I learned that it is a waste of time. Listen, from listening to Thinker and all her crew and the people that deconstruct and let y'all get up there and spout that bullshit on their panels, I have learned not to waste my time letting you get on here and sprinkle no spook on nothing I'm saying. Unless I feel like entertaining the people in the chat and having fun with you. But nah, no. It's a father and it's a son. But see, you being carnal-minded when you include the mother. But you not being carnal-minded when it's the father. Nah, you not finna sit in my face and play with me. And I can't question you. I'm wrong if I just don't accept it. I'm just a reprobate mind. Cause I just supposed to accept. I got a father and a son, but ain't no mother involved nowhere. I just supposed to accept that. You got to be out your mind. There's nothing wrong with you if you don't accept it. Yeah, man, how can you not endorse the message, my nigga? and and been in our face talking about 13 colonies. These people ain't had no 13 colonies. They came over here in hordes, packed on ships. You think they came over here organized and together and moving in sync and that they had the whole plan? Do you think that's what they came over here and did, nigga? If anybody came over here in ships, it was the Europeans. It wasn't us. If anybody had to have, if you compare us, melanated, copper colored, give me a penny, let me put it on it, copper colored, give me a penny, let me put it on, for you can see the copper and us matching. So if between copper colored and European people, who is the one most likely that had to have come here on boats? I can guarantee you wasn't no Europeans over here, less they got over here on the boat. But far as copper colored people though, see, well, that's another story. So we know who came over here packed in ships and spreading disease because they was packed in them, damn it. And they was the lowest of the low and the poorest of the poor. Indentured servants, the uneducated of the uneducated, the ruffians of the ruffians. They was getting rid of y'all ass. Then y'all wasn't worshiping Jesus the right way. Go back and do your history. Y'all didn't even agree with how to worship Jesus then. Part of the reason why you got sent over here, your ancestors did. Christians at war with each other. Because everybody had the Holy Ghost and they couldn't agree on who had the most Holy Ghost. And losers, as they say, had to go. So it wasn't the best and the brightest that came. So how they got their money then if they came broke and sick and packed on ships? Don't play no game, boy. We be about killing just a bunch of thug niggas. What else you think they did? They was killing them people in the name of Jesus. Look at the picture. The genocide and slavery they was committing was because these people was heathen and they did not worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Therefore, their life and property and freedom was forfeit, just like the Bible said it was supposed to be. Happy Black History Month, nigga. Read Leviticus chapter 25. Start at verse 44 when you say it ain't no chattel slavery in the Bible. Yes, it is. It's exactly what's being described in Leviticus 25. Exactly. To a T. Happy Black History Month, nigga. It come out your book. The slavery that they finna teach you about, yeah, it started with Noah cursing his grandson. That's the first mention of slavery in your book. Come from one of your prophets, one of your patriarchs, remember? You might not have known that. Pastor might not have taught you that. Slavery was just something men invented, and it's just something that God had to regulate because man, that shit came from Noah cursing his grandson. You don't read your book? It didn't just come out of nowhere. Noah is the first one mentioned that. And by the way, his grandson had cursing, remember? Cursing their children. The serpent seed. Well, if the Most High seed is going to be blessed, what else the serpent seed going to be? I'll show you where they start and what they set up. The patriarchy come from a curse, baby. It's what your book say in Genesis chapter 3. The patriarchy is the result of a curse. Before then, Eve taught Adam. Her eating from the tree is her being taught. Her giving Adam some of the fruit is her teaching him. And the curse is her losing her position and being placed under him. You ain't paying attention to your book. Because you already know so much. You don't know shit. First and foremost, you think you got to eat crackers and juice on the right day or you're going to be punished for all eternity. You don't know nothing. We need to get that part understood. You just make that bullshit sound good because you dress up and sing songs to do it. But it's still bullshit. After you get through saying your song and put on your best clothes. Hey man, they is telling you about a book that some people claim they got from something that came out the sky, Jack. I'm telling you about what come from the kingdom. I don't give a damn what them people told you they got out the sky. You can believe it if you want to, but you don't get to get in here and tell me I'm wrong for not letting them tell me about talking snakes and nothing coming out the sky to do nothing for me. I came out my mama, man. I didn't come out of no Freya. Didn't come out of no Freya. Fuck Freya, nigga. Here you mean. You think God is Friday. I'm thankful to my mothers and fathers that they let me be. We not the same, nigga. You niggas crazy around this bitch. Both a question. Why wouldn't you question? That's why they get in there and try to argue with. That's why I troll the trolls, because it's a lot of believers. It's the men. I'm starting to see, man. It's us. You bitch ass niggas. I'm not catering to. It's you bitch ass niggas, man. Damn. And shout out to the goddesses and that's waking up and doing their job. And we had to deconstruct from this patriarchy and the way that the smugness and the arrogance, like we just automatically. See you, and it's like what you call wisdom is described as feminine. And understanding is also described as feminine. And a lot of time, because of the patriarchy, the divine knowledge that you have, because of your lack of wisdom and understanding, what you end up expressing is the ignorance that you have. You express the lack of understanding that you have. When you speak of a patriarchy, God is a he, this magical he being. And then when you say he, at least break it down and explain for the people that we don't mean gender. We talking function. But because we talking kingdom, it's not a magical he kingdom. It can't be. Because the kingdom is a family. Remember, we got to take the spook off this stuff. Unless the kingdom is some spooky shit in the sky somewhere with all ethereal, masculine be. Hey, man, the kingdom is a motherfucking family, man. That's it. Strip everything off of it. That's what it is. Why do we have to make it? Listen, we've been beat down from in here. A mother is being pursued and she's being persecuted. The subconscious, what we think in order to validate our existence, we need to attach it to some fantastical story or miracle. But I don't need that. For this existence to be miraculous, for my bloodline, I don't need validation for my existence. I don't need it. I'm grateful. I'm happy to exist. This existence is wonderful, awesome, amazing, as is. It doesn't need to be validated. My bloodline, the people that I came from the fact that I exist, they special. Do you hear me? Because I exist. Man, I see them as the most wonderful, awesome people to ever be, because I wouldn't be here without them. I don't need no spook attached to that. We always been here. That's enough for me. Hey, man, mama and daddy, and it's enough. I don't need it. You gonna be punished and You gonna be punished in the genocide and slavery, to me, is because people is greedy and violent. Sometimes greedy and violent people get together and they do greed and violence on people that's not greedy and violent. I think that's why we have genocide and slavery. Because people that commit genocide and slavery are not stopped. So they get to write the story and tell the story about why they was committing genocide and slavery and why it was really a good thing. But I don't see it as a punishment for disobeying the God of the people that do it. I think that would be an incredibly stupid thing to think or believe, a weak thing to believe. It would mean that you are too afraid and too cowardly to address it as it is. You would rather blame the victim because you're too afraid to say the people that did it was greedy and violent. I smell fear. You scared. I listen to these goddesses put the truth in y'all face day after day, and you get to the point where you just can't deny the truth, but you so scared of their hell that you would just start lying and being obtuse and just willfully ignorant. It was a clown on there today. He said, yeah, God woke me up. There's a lot of people wake up. God woke me up. And she say, well, what happened when you wake up late? Did you wake yourself up late or did God wake you up late? The man got off the live. He just left. I'm not bullshitting. He just left. Because he realized he walked himself right into something, saying something stupid, thinking about the stupid shit you say. And now that you're being presented in a situation where you have to think about it, you realize instead of you being humble and honest about it, and until you put her back in wisdom, that's a demonstration of wisdom, putting you back in your place. It's having to be done by force because you won't do it willingly. You've made her a whore, but you refuse to see her as God. You won't see her that way. And it's sad. It shows that you don't know nothing. And you ain't never thought about what you claim to believe because you're too scared to think about it. You too scared to buck this system. You following these celebrities. You think these stars and the personification of stars is the way to be. But the light is not the same as the stars. Say you the light of the world, my nigga, not the star of the world. Fuck a star, nigga. Be the light. The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding they seen you, quit letting the people shun that and try to make it seem like you crazy because they stupid. You're not crazy. Mm-mm. No, I'm not crazy. You go and you eat your crackers and juice, but I don't want you to make laws for me. I don't want you to make laws for me based on your God. Because your God condoned genocide and slavery, even in Black History Month. Your God make black people, so-called black people, melanated people that have been the victims of genocide and slavery. Your God make these people condone that shit and say it's good and right for it to be done. I don't want no parts of that God. Boy, that's a cold game. Your God, to believe in your God, I have to believe I was born a sinner and born cursed. And I have to believe in human sacrifice, in the rightness and goodness of human sacrifice to be saved. I don't want to believe in your God. That shit is sick. Human sacrifice? This shit is sick. I don't care how you paint the picture, dress it up, emotions you attach to the story. I don't owe nobody my soul. And it seems mighty strange that the devil is after your soul, and these religions are too. Yeah, they say you owe Jesus your soul. He paid the price. It's your soul that you're on. And then once you give him your soul, you get to want no parts of it. I don't want to be nobody's slave for nothing. No, in no shape, form, or fashion. If he called my mama a dog, we gonna fight right then and there. Hard. I might not win. Jesus might got some hands. I don't know. But we gonna fight hard. If he called my mama a dog in my presence. You might fall on the floor and go to shivering and shaking. Yes, Lord, she's a dog. It ain't in me to do it. It would be like reflex, instinct. It wouldn't even be nothing I thought about. We gonna scratch. So yeah, we just not the same. You dig what I'm saying? And that's cool. It's just we let these goddesses do what they do. But we find it entertaining when y'all get in the lives and say stupid stuff. And every morning I like to wake up and hear it. But I find that it's the youngsters that want to get in there, and I like that. Because for the youngsters, that means you being challenged in the way that us that grew up in the 80s never were. And had we been challenged the way you're being challenged now, then it wouldn't be such a difficult process to deconstruct from it now. And what this means in the next generation is going to get it a little bit earlier to the point where we're going to be done with that. It's a revolution happening. It's a wave happening. Pastors is running and ducking and hiding, trying to double down. The congregations is dying out, dwindling out. Can't keep selling the same dream, so they starting back to sell you that same nightmare. All right, you gonna go to hell. Ask him when he say you gonna go to hell to show you in the creation narrative when hell is created. Because after creation, it say God is finished with all God's work. That include what you call judgment. There's nothing left to judge because everything was called very good, remember? Last time I checked, there's nothing left to do. Everything how it's gonna be, this how it's gonna be. We talking eternity. Either this is a place of birth and rebirth, or it's a place of dying over and over again. You decide. And them doors will be closed. And to get to the Father, you must go through Jesus, which is the same role of Eshu as the messenger. Oh, oh man. No, man. Yeah, man. Yes, everybody not gonna get it, and like I say, it's cool. It's cool. But for those who do get it, they got it, and it's cool. But remember that when you do get it, you're gonna go and you're gonna ascend to sit on the throne, just like I ascended and I sit on the throne. I want you to look at the picture, and I want you to understand that to ascend in is up is going into the subconscious. That's mama. The throne is the mother's lap. The first throne of any kingdom is the mother's lap. She represent the throne. She says, by me, kings reign. Princes make laws that are just. The Bible calls her the greater light that governs the day. And the baby boy in her lap, that's the light that is called day. To get to the Father, you have to go through the To get to the Father, you have to go through the Son. The Son is the expression of divine knowledge and wisdom. And you're not going to get to the knowledge, divine knowledge, unless it's expressed. The higher understanding is it come from within you. Look at the picture. Mama is the subconscious. The son is the conscious. Mama teaching the son, feeding the son, is the subconscious teaching you. You got to get it from mama. Because she is divine knowledge applied. The Father is knowledge, is power. Wisdom is knowledge applied. The Father, and it's applied as cycles, birth and rebirth, wombs, mama. It's not a person that you have to go through. So it's a principle that once you are understood from within, it's going to be experienced as a type of rebirth, and your mind will be renewed. You're going to see yourself different in the world around you in a new way, a higher way from within. John come first because John is the grace of God. That's why John represent Elijah and Elijah represent Enoch. Enoch mean teacher. The grace, so that you can be reminded of the grace you came from, because it wasn't by rightness or goodness or deeds, or it was grace. This present is called the present because it's a gift, and the gift is because of grace. The goodness of the giver, an extension of goodness. That's what you come from. Mama called you good because you existed. It wasn't because nothing you did. Look at that picture. That symbolize a lot. It's God on his throne. God is the baby, and the throne represent the Most High. God Most High. This is a principle. These ain't people. These ain't characters. It's hard for the people to elevate, and I can't force it to you. It gotta come. The best I can do is be John to you and remind you of the grace that you come from, so that you can return to the grace that you left from. And remember, it was by grace, because of grace. It wasn't because you believed the right thing that you got this present. That's turning the present and making it a reward. That's turning the present upside down. Instead of it being by grace, now it's because of sacrifice that you. Who asked this of you? When you come before into the kingdom, who required this trampling of my course? Who asked this of you? And read the book. When it say God rests from all God's work. When you read it, you're not gonna find death or sin spoken of. You're not gonna see worship me, praise me, sing to me. It say in our image and our likeness. So all this built in. Highest form of worship is imitation. You want to be like Mike because you idolize Mike. So you was moonwalking with your socks on across the floor, trying to be like him. because you idolize. The highest form of worship is imitation. So it's built in. You already like what it is, your mothers and fathers. That's an honor, veneration, praise of the mighty ones, that you look and act like them. It's not based on what you believe. It's just what you are. It's a kingdom, remember? It's not a religion. It's not a belief system. You born into it. You born this way. And this how it always been with you. Till you forgot. You came out of mama. You had always came out of mama till they came and told you you came from dust. But you ain't never came from no dust. You always came out of mama. That was always the throne. You got to come out of mama because that's the throne. Come from God. Come from the Most High, right? The elders, the mighty one. So the throne represents the seat of authority. Where you make your decisions from. Where you govern from. The greater light is mama. The lesser light is the sun in her lap. So at night, when you see that nighttime sky, it was drawn as a woman, as a mother, and she houses the sun. Virgo, the sun is inside of her. Pisces, the sun is inside the fish. So the greater light governs the sun. It's all around you. The matriarchy, that this is, we talking about the kingdom when we talk about the matriarchy. The patriarchy is where you got the religion and the belief, the confusion, the personification of the sun, moon, and stars. Looking out instead of looking up to mama. Subconscious, we said that was female because she give birth to consciousness, to the greater light. So all of these things are missed, and when we start talking about these stories of I am, because this is where I am come from. And I am is delivered from here, born from here. To be born is to be delivered. Salvation means to be delivered. But you have to read it from knowledge, from right to left. If you don't know these things, you're going to believe in characters. You're going to think it's talking about that you should believe in characters. They stress this to keep you bound to them, into their system. You under a spell. They put some capital letters on you, and then you all thought that because the letters were capitalized, then that was good. But we don't understand words and titles based on spell. We understand them based on experience. How do you experience being made in the image and likeness of? Because Adam, remember, is not made in the image and likeness of nobody. But in chapter 1, though, the people in chapter 1 are. My contention is they are melanated, and we don't know how many they are, and they operate as a kingdom and a priesthood because that's what they came from. Then the book tell you about the Lord and his creation, where you get your patriarchy from his curse on his creation. Anybody got questions? I'm outside all day, help me escape the system. Anybody, I'm ready to return a moment and come back clean. This life been painful. Anybody got questions, comments? Doesn't have to be worship music, but be careful what you put into yourself. Very careful, because that's where the battle, they get in through your conscious mind, though. So this is why the mind is renewed. because they was getting in through your old mind with the fear and the doubt. But once the mind is renewed, because it's been renewed like a baby, the baby don't know to be afraid. The baby don't know to doubt. Baby see everything pure, innocent. It's new. Everything is new. Put this live on YouTube, please. I got you. I got you. The last two going on there. I got you. For sure, for sure. When will a man remember the woman had power? That's a great question, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know, and I get sick of seeing us standing in the way though, because of the patriarchy that we just think is just automatic and always been, and we won't look past that. Cause we just assume, yeah, it always been like this. But if you read chapter 3 and it say that the woman is cursed with the man ruling over her, it begs the question, what was she before this curse? What was her position before she was cursed to be ruled over? And if that's the absence of what she was or the opposite, and we seeing that she taught Adam, not the other way around. And the Bible is showing you what it was before the curse or before the patriarchy. And we don't look at it from that angle because we are taught from the patriarchy. And so Eve and the woman or divine feminine is demonized or vilified. I wonder if that's why the fallen angels chose why when we the Nephilim, when people started to personify the sun, moon, and stars, that's the said that the angels fell, the stars fell, excuse me, when people started personifying them, when people started tracing their lineage to these personifications. This is the daughters of men mating with the fallen stars, the fallen ones, and their children becoming famous or mighty men of renown. The Hercules story, um, what it would the Epic of Gilgamesh. These stories are the sun, moon, and stars personified, so they became mighty, famous people. That's what's being described. So that's what I'm saying. They sprinkled a lot of spook on man, y'all. They put a lot of spook on it. And they got you thinking about giants and shit falling out the sky. And none of this has never happened how they put it to you. They describe them different wisdom cultures and the origins of it. Black Madonna. Y'all got the black on there to help you understand what the blackness symbolizes. And when we talk about the unknown, no beginning, no end, the ineffable, inexpressible is symbolized as blackness because you can't, when you in pitch complete blackness, you can't see nothing. It's unknown. It's no beginning, no end. It represents the most high though. That's what that blackness, that black dot, that melanin, that darkness represent. That's why we are the original, because of that. That's what that blackness, that black dot, that melanin, that darkness represent. That's why we are the original, because of that. Everything come from the darkness, the unknown. But let me get up out of here, man. Yeah, but why you telling it to me, looking at it spiritual, and I really, cause it's science. We've been looking at it from belief, from religious belief, and then with the added threat of if you don't believe it, you're gonna be punished if you don't believe it like this. But if you leave the doctrine and the belief out and all of that, and look at what is being attempted to be